Welcome to Key Tech. Please describe this channel if you are interested in today's video. Once the Huawei Mate 60 series of mobile phones was released, it triggered widespread controversy from the outside world about the Kirin 9000S chip it was equipped with. In particular, the chip manufacturing process and foundry have become hot topics of discussion. Huawei's autumn conference did not disclose the specific parameters and origin of the Kirin 9000S chip, further aggravating the curiosity of the outside world. The United States has been paying close attention to Huawei's movements and has stated that it will further restrict Huawei's development. However, Huawei's chip technology has reached a point that Americans cannot understand, which has disappointed the United States. The dismantling results of Huawei Mate 60 Pro mobile phone show that the Kirin 9000S chip uses a technology that Americans are unfamiliar with, completely getting rid of American technology and restrictions. In addition, the investigation results show that the Kirin 9000S chip should be manufactured by domestic companies. Huawei's rebirth is a huge blow to US chip giants, especially Qualcomm, which is expected to significantly reduce its chip supply to Chinese mobile phone brands. In addition, Huawei, as a representative of domestic semiconductor manufacturers, is also launching a wave of localized substitution in other chip market segments. Many American media said that the United States made the situation worse because China's counterattack was entirely forced by the US sanctions and blockade. In the future, China's breakthroughs in the chip field will cause the United States' position in the semiconductor industry chain to be shaken, and the good days of American chip companies will no longer last. Controversy caused by Huawei Mate 60. After the release of Huawei Mate 60 series mobile phones, the Kirin 9000S chip equipped with it caused widespread controversy. This flagship chip has generated huge curiosity, with people speculating about its manufacturing process and foundry. Huawei did not disclose specific information about the Kirin 9000S chip at its autumn conference, further stimulating outside curiosity. In order to answer netizens' questions, technology bloggers even disassembled the Mate 60 Pro phone late at night, hoping to reveal the secrets of Huawei chips. Huawei's Mate 60 series of mobile phones are called competitive machines. The Kirin 9000S chip is the latest result of HiSilicon's 3-year efforts. This is a huge challenge for Apple. However, Huawei's return of the king has led the market trend and made Americans extremely curious. The U.S. Secretary of Commerce even stated that he would increase restrictions on Huawei and further verify how Huawei circumvents U.S. sanctions and restrictions. Faced with Huawei's strong return, the United States has not been idle. Relevant media have analyzed Huawei Mate 60 Pro in an attempt to reveal the technology and foundry of the Kirin 9000S chip. However, they were disappointed to find that Huawei used a technology they were unfamiliar with, indicating that Huawei had successfully weaned itself off dependence on American technology. Regarding the dispute over the foundry factory of the Kirin 9000S chip, U.S. investigation results show that the chip should be manufactured by a Chinese company. According to user feedback, Huawei Mate 60 series mobile phones have achieved true 5G communication. In order to carry a 5G communication baseband, the chip or SoC needs to reach at least a 7-nanometer process technology. However, TSMC and Samsung have terminated cooperation with Huawei under the restrictions of US chip regulations. Therefore, the hot Kirin 9000S chip should be manufactured by a third-party foundry in China. More importantly, Huawei uses process technology that Americans are unfamiliar with, which means that domestic wafer manufacturers may have adopted completely independent and different technical directions. While Americans are trying to find loopholes in the restrictions, Huawei says it has gone beyond US sanctions. Huawei's rebirth has had a huge impact on the American chip giant. Huawei's rebirth is a huge blow to American chip giants, especially Qualcomm. It is expected that Qualcomm's chip supply to Chinese mobile phone brands will be significantly reduced in 2024. Currently, both Apple and Samsung have their own self-developed chips, and Qualcomm's shipments are extremely dependent on Chinese terminal manufacturers. However, as Huawei breaks through in the chip field, Kirin chips may appear on other domestic mobile phone brands, which will be an even bigger disaster for Qualcomm. In addition, in other chip market segments, domestic semiconductor manufacturers represented by Huawei have launched a wave of domestic substitution. Many American media said that the United States made the situation worse because China's counterattack was entirely the result of US sanctions and blockade. Once a Chinese company enters a certain industry, relying on its strong production capacity, product prices will inevitably drop, and the chip field is no exception. In the past, US chip companies have been at the top of the global semiconductor industry chain, but with China's breakthroughs in the chip field, their good days will be gone forever. The Kirin 9000S chip of Huawei's Mate 60 series mobile phones has caused widespread controversy, especially regarding the manufacturing process and foundry factories. Huawei did not announce specific information at its autumn conference, further fueling outside curiosity. The United States began investigating Huawei's chip technology, but found that Huawei used a technology they were unfamiliar with, indicating that Huawei had shed its dependence on American technology. Investigations show that the Kirin 9000S chip is likely to be manufactured by a Chinese company. Huawei's rebirth is a huge blow to American chip giants, especially Qualcomm. Qualcomm's chip supply to Chinese mobile phone brands is expected to be significantly reduced. In addition, Huawei, as a representative of domestic semiconductor manufacturers, is also launching a wave of localized substitution in other chip market segments. China's breakthrough in the chip field will shake the United States' position in the semiconductor industry chain. Many American media said that the United States has made the situation worse.